Welcome to another edition of the Giants Huddle podcast. It's our off-season interview series. You go position by position, talking to members of the Giants heading into training camp. This year, we're going to lead off with quarterbacks. And now we welcome in Giants quarterback, Jameis Winston. Jameis, how's it going, man?
Man, blessed, bro.
So, you're always one of the first guys here, and you're always one of the last guys out. What has it been like trying to really sink your teeth into this offense and learn it in such a short period of time?
Brother, it's one of the most challenging offenses that I've been in my career. So really just being immersed in it and being grateful, like, just to have that youthful learning back, like being challenged by offense that I don't know. And especially doing it to OTAs with limited reps is amazing.
What makes it more difficult?
The concepts are very similar. You see that all over the league, but I feel like that the freedom and the access that the quarterback has to really run the show. There's so much on us, whether it be man beaters, whether it be one-word calls that have the protection, the formation, and alerts intertwined in the whole call. That's a lot. And sometimes you have things that correlate together, like if like R and L words or certain concepts that mean a certain thing, but this is a lot of memorization. Like you have a lot of different words and verbiage that doesn't really correlate to a lot of different things.
So this is complicated in a good way, complicated in a way that empowers you as a quarterback to get the most out of the offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the biggest parts of being a quarterback in general is mastering your offense. And I think it requires everyone to study, not just the quarterback to know their stuff, but it requires offensive linemen to be on top of this stuff. It requires your receivers and running backs to be on top of this stuff. And I think that just pulls out a certain level of accountability from us all.
Now, you mentioned limited reps in the spring, right? You guys have 4 quarterbacks you're trying to get reps for, and they've been kind of moving Jaxson around. And, normal training camp, it's, 4 plays, 4 plays, 4 plays. That hasn't really been the case in the spring. It's limited reps. So how has it been like kind of being with different guys, depending on the day, working with different receivers, and kind of trying to bring everything together despite the fact maybe it's not as consistent as it has been in the past?
Yeah, one thing that I've experienced over the past few years is like being grateful for every rep. Man, just being at media day, being able to put on this blue uniform, man, I'm grateful for even more because my uniform is red. You know what I'm saying? How often do we play in a red jersey?
That's right.
Over there in MetLife. So I'm just grateful for every moment that I get to step out there and compete, man. So that's been the most exciting part.
You have a rookie in Jaxson Dart in the room. He's a first-round pick. You were a first-round pick. You know the pressure. You had to go in and play right away. It doesn't look like he's going to have to do that, which is fortunate for him. What kind of advice had you given him, and have you tried to help him along in his first year in the NFL?
Yeah, I just talked to him about, man, using his resources, whether that be resources outside of this facility and definitely making the most of the resources inside this facility, because sometimes when you're a young guy, you feel like, oh, my God, okay, like all this is on me. Right. But I think the Giants do a great job of letting him know and having him aware of the resources that they have, like whether it be him finding him a main guy in the training room, whether him be meeting with our head of strength and conditioning and Aaron Wellerman, whether him having one-on-one meetings with Coach with Coach Shea. It just really having his own unique team within his own team with the organization of the Giants.
You have a pretty unique leadership style. Everyone here has raved about it, by the way. They love you as a guy. How did you develop becoming the leader you are today? Because I'm sure you're much different than you were when you first stepped into this league. How did you kind of develop into this type of leader?
Yeah, man, I remember one instance, especially in the NFL, because throughout my NFL process, when I first came in the league, I was in a situation where I was like, man, I was trying to please others. I was just trying to, show everyone that I was this good guy and show everyone that I am who I say I am. But at the end of the day, it's not really about what other people think. Everyone is always going to have their opinions, and they're going to have what they want to say. But it's really just being who you truly are and being that unapologetically. And it was this time, like this moment with Sean Payton. And we are in the airport, and we had to travel commercial one time, and it was a moment where this man was there with his baby. And, he was trying to get me to autograph something for his baby, and I was going out my way. I'm holding up the line, trying to sign this for this man, and he was like, "Hey, man," Sean was like, "Hey, we ain't kissing no babies." Like, he was like, "Man, get out of here!" Like, he sees that, we're in the behind, man. We're behind. We're not in the TSA line. Like, we having to go through the whole airport, and he was like, "We're not kissing babies." And that, right then, I was like, I can be a good person without someone else approving that I'm a good person.
Right.
And once you understand that you can be unapologetically unapologetically you and original. And if you don't have time to sign something, like, hey, so it's okay. Yes, that person might be mad at you or something like if you want to stay at the facility all day, like it's okay. You don't have to be worrying about if someone clocking you in, first one in, the last one to leave. Like it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It's about what you do. It's about your own individual actions to every single day.
The Giants Huddle podcast is brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the Giants. From game day celebrations to your everyday financial needs, Big Blue fans can get the most out of every moment with Citizens. Go to citizensbank.com/Giants.
Huddle up, get in here. If you're lined up here, you gotta go over the middle with it to score.
Right. How do we make that happen?
I don't know, but Citizens does.
Make sense of your money with Citizens, official bank of Eli Manning.
That's a great answer. I want to ask you about the wide receivers. What do you think of this wide receiver group?
Man, it's a very impressive wide receiver crew. One person in particular, like Darius Slayton, like obviously looking at him from afar, I always thought that he just had the ability to always get behind defenses, but I didn't realize how strong and physical and sure-handed he was. And getting a chance to practice with him, realizing that he was from Atlanta. So, like me being from Birmingham, Bessemer, Alabama, him being from Atlanta, I know that he was a guy with some smart britches. But I didn't realize, how really immersed in this system that he was. He's very smart. He's very electric with his speed, and he's sure-handed. He's always open from the film study.
How do you go about trying to gain chemistry and learn these wide receivers so you can connect with them there where you want them to be, et cetera, et cetera? Like, what's your process for doing that?
Man, I've played with some Hall of Fame receivers, and I've made a lot of receivers look really, really good. So I know how to get the ball to these receivers. It's just getting to know them personally and making sure that we're all on the same page in certain concepts. And all of them are very unique, and they have their own ebb and flow of the game. But when it comes to on the football field, it's all about timing and accuracy. So we want to make sure that they're the right depth. We want to make sure that they're seeing the things, seeing the coverage the same way that we see them. And I think like the New York Giants has been one of the best places in making it available for these guys to understand coverages, understand the whys of a particular concept. And I think that goes a long way. And we have guys like Wandale who are asking like intentional questions about like, hey, like, what do you see me here? Like versus this coverage, like, how do you want this ran? And when you have receivers that are that intentional and purposeful what they do, then you're able to throw the ball on time. You're able to anticipate what they're going to do. You're able to actually have a good feel no matter who's in and playing quarterback.
All right, final question. You've been in a bunch of different offenses and really good ones. Tampa, you guys are super explosive. Obviously, Sean Payton, he's one of the best offensive coaches in the league. Without giving away state secrets, just give me like a 20,000-foot view of when this offense starts getting cooking and we get to the regular season. What are fans going to see on Sunday? What is this thing going to look like?
Yeah, well, one thing I don't think we get enough credit for here is how good our offensive line is. Like, and it starts up front. It starts about dominating the line of scrimmage. And it's not a lot of glitz and glamours of fancy runs and this and that. It's, hey, we're about to run this run, and we're averaging 4, 5. And then in the fourth quarter, it's 8. And we have running backs that know how to get north and south. People look at Tracy as just like, oh, man, he was a receiver in college.
Well, that dude's got some behind the pads,
man. He is able
man.
to get north and south. And we have a great veteran quarterback in Devin and Motor. So I think it starts with the trenches. And that's everywhere I've been, it always has started with the trenches. We just have Malik Neighbors. Like, when you got Malik Neighbors, like, that's an anomaly. Like, I've had Mike Evans, and I played with Mike Thomas. And last year, we did some amazing things with Jerry Jeudy.
Yep. When
you have a superstar that is just a superstar, every time he touches the ball, he's electric. Anything can happen. But when you have an offensive line that is dominating the line of scrimmage in the running game, you're going to be able to see that this New York Football Giants football team is explosive and about it.
So I'll summarize. You can just give me a yes or no answer if you want. We're talking power run game, play action, get the ball downfield.
Absolutely.
Good stuff, Jameis.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, dude.
If you want to know how to manage 2 minutes of crunch time football, I'm your man. But if you're wondering about a long-term financial plan, you should talk to Citizens. Hey, I can also talk lawn care.
I'd like to learn about a mowing routine.
Yes, I knew I could help.
Make sense of your money with Citizens.
All right, now we're joined by Giants rookie quarterback Jaxson Dart. And Jackson, we just had Jameis here. It's airing it right before we air yours. And, he's been in the league like 8-9 years, and he's like, dude, this is the most complicated offense I've ever had to learn. It has been a real challenge. So what has it been like for you as a rookie trying to figure it all out?
Yeah, my first few days, I was swimming a little bit just with all the information and whatnot. But at the same time, this is all I know. So getting to learn it day in and day out. I have great guys in the room, great coaching staff who's, on a development plan with me day in and day out. And I'm just blessed to be here.
Now that you're here, what are some of the things that you did do in college that you think have helped you transfer and be ready for the pros? Some of the concepts that are similar and things like that.
I think conceptually, I've pretty much ran, all the same concepts. And I think that's kind of universal throughout football. Obviously, the lingo and how, maybe some reads will change up here to there are a little bit different. What makes it much more complicated is obviously the players that you're playing against and the scheme that you're playing against. So having to go against our guys day in and day out has been some really good work. But I think that, for me, something that's going to carry over is just my aggressiveness, ability to push the ball down the field. At the same time, I take care of the ball. I mean, you can look at my numbers year after year. I don't turn over the ball a lot, and I keep it on our side. So really excited to implement this offense more and more into some of my play style and whatnot. But I'm really excited for the season.
Now it makes it more complicated for you, but are you excited about the optionality this offense gives a quarterback, where you're able to, based on what the defense shows you, make adjustments, do different things? You and wide receivers can have side adjustments, things like that, where you can take advantage of what's available to you.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel like, this what separates this scheme is you can go out there against any defense and you're going to have answers. And I love that part of it because it lets the quarterback play fast and play free. And, you've seen the success level on such a high level from Coach Dable and all of his success, and then at the same time from Coach Kafka winning a Super Bowl, in Kansas City. So I'm really excited for this year. I'm really excited for the future and, this offense and where we can go with it.
Drinking from a fire hose is an expression that a lot of people use when you first get in and you start doing it. You said you're starting to get a better feel for it.
Yeah.
Is it hard to kind of put yourself in to figure out what stage you are at, how much more work there is to do? What are some of the goals that you have set for yourself when you hit training camp, the pads come on, you start doing more of the next step you want to take in your development in terms of becoming an NFL quarterback?
Yeah, I think that during this time that I've been here so far, obviously you have a new install pretty much every day. So you're constantly learning, you're constantly getting new reps at different things. So I'm really excited for when camp starts, just to have the chance to know that I've already ran a lot of these plays.
Right.
And I can go out there, I can play faster, I can think more freely, and I can just go out there and play, just ball. I can just play the way that I play instead of at times maybe overthinking the things, but not just because of the complexity. But I can't wait, and I'm excited for this, this period that we're in right now, and then even to this break to continue to develop.
Awesome. Final question. Russell Wilson came in year one. He took a guy's starting job. He ended up being the starting quarterback. What has he told you and given advice he's given you about quickly adjusting to the NFL? And, who knows when you're going to get your opportunity? That's not important. But just advice of figuring things out quickly and learning the NFL offense and how to be effective quickly in the National Football League.
Yeah, obviously you have to be very talented. You have to have the intangibles to do it. But at the same time, I think that you got to have the work ethic. You got to have the ability to lead others. And I think that's something that Russ does so well.
Good answer.
And him being able to rally the guys around him and just his leadership presence, that's been huge for me to see. And, I feel like I can just take something away from him every single day, which has been such a blessing. But at the same time, you're right. You got to develop fast and you got to be ready to play because you never know when your chance is going to come, and definitely not going to let that slip.
Jaxson, good stuff, man. Best of luck. Good seeing you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great stuff from the QBs there. Good to hear from the guys that are going to be under center and really be the leaders of this offense heading into 2025. That's all the time we have for the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the Giants. We'll see you next time, everybody.